Hi, this is Bill Frank, and I'm reporting for KADY-TV. We're here in the lobby of the Ventura Marriott Beach Hotel. We're awaiting the beginning of the CERF presentation by Bill Watkins and Jack O'Connell, and I'm joined by Jack O'Connell, who is the former superintendent of public education for the state of California and a local resident. Jack, welcome.
Thank you. Always nice to be home, Bill.
It's glad to have you back.
Thank
and
you for
just
having me.
to start off, you just recently got some more accolades added to your list. You were inducted into the Oxnard Sports Hall of Fame for Oxnard High School. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. It was very nice. I like to tell my friends I played basketball. I averaged about 20 points, but I averaged 20 points a year, not 20 points a game.
Well, I love doing an interview with a tall person like yourself.
And I had a chance to help guard Jamal Wilkes when he was at Ventura High School basketball. I held him to 40 points. In fact, I did such a good job, Bill, he didn't even have to play the second half.
Oh, good. All right. Well, the reason that you're here is, of course, you're going to be talking about the state of public education in California. I think it'll be very informative. I want to hit you with just a couple of questions, if I could, please, because here in Ventura County, we're very unique. In addition to our public high schools, we also have charter schools. We also have technology high schools. So I want to ask you, what is the role of charter high schools and technology high schools in the balanced educational program for California?
Well, both charter schools and the technology schools, and there's an excellent one up at Foothill, Ventura Unified School District, and Trudy Arriaga and that school board, they do a great job in getting that building up and running and performing as well as they do. But both charter schools and technology schools, they're part of our public school family. And I'm very supportive of quality public charter schools. That said, I've also led the league in putting bad charter schools out of business. We have to the taxpayers of this community, to the state, not just an educational responsibility, but also a fiduciary responsibility to make sure that the money is properly being spent. And there were some bad actors in Southern California that were not putting the best interest in the students. They weren't investing in education. Many of these were what we call a non-classroom base, and we have tracked them down, worked with the local district attorneys, and really have put several out of business. But that said, we're very fortunate to have a growing number of quality charter schools. About 5% of the overall student population, our students attend charter schools. They tend to be relatively small, and then I like to see them designed for a specific purpose. It might be a very rigorous curriculum, it could be discipline, it could be a particular curriculum such as healthcare, technology, high-tech, biotech, nanotech, and I really enjoy those types of operations.
Well, I applaud your efforts to put the bad charter schools out of business, and that's important. Of course, in your role, that's what you did. But is it also fair to say that the free market should help decide this as well? And what I'm going towards is, of course, a voucher system. In Cleveland, Ohio, as well as in Washington, D.C., vouchers are the way to go. They've approved that. And then we've got some systems that are models that we can use elsewhere. Talk to me about voucher system for California. How would that impact us? And because of California's size, how would it be different from voucher systems that we see in Cleveland and in Washington, D.C.?
Well, Bill, the voters of the state have overwhelmingly, on several occasions, voted to reject the private school voucher by using public taxpayer dollars limited for public education and then redirect maybe 10% of those limited dollars to the private schools. And I would suggest it's not in the private school's best interest to have the private school voucher. Simply because there's the old saying, he who picks the tune pays the piper, he who pays the piper picks the tune, I guess the way it goes. And you would see, I can guarantee you, more oversight, more involvement in curriculum, more involvement in the credentialing of the teachers at our private schools or parochial school if you had public resources going to those schools. So not only is a voucher not in the best interest of the public school community, I would suggest to you that the voucher is not in the best interest of the private school community as well.
Now that's an interesting perspective, and something that I know is in the best interest of students all over the state of California, and that is parental involvement. How do we generate more parental involvement in our schools today?
We have to remember, Bill, that our parents are still our first teachers. Our parents are still our most important teachers. We need to do a much better job, as you and I have talked about before, of linking the home front to the school front. I've seen school districts that have the online student test scores, student attendance, homework assignments, objectives that need to be met. And so we need to do a better job of being able to provide the tools and the resources for our teachers to be able to connect to the parents, and then for the parents to become more engaged. Some of our newer schools have parent study sessions where they actually have a physical classroom set aside just for parents to come and learn with the lessons that the students are learning. So you can do the homework at night. Adult education, obviously, critically important, that I taught here when I was in Oxnard as well.
All right, great. One last thing before I let you go off to your presentation, and that is describe for us some of the challenges that we face here in California when we teach in our public schools, because California is like no other state in the union, is it, Jack?
California is unique in every sense of the word. We have over 6 million students, over schools. We have over 1,000 different school districts with over 5,000 school board members. We have the most diverse, challenging mobile student population. We have, over 50% of our students are Latino. 40% of our kids go home from school and speak a language other than English. 39% of our kindergarten kids came to school today to learn the English language. 1 out of 4 kids came to school to learn the English language. 11% are special ed. Over 100 languages spoken in some districts. Over half of our kids come from low socioeconomic backgrounds. Tell me when to stop.
Well, talk to me about poverty, Jack, because that's an interesting thing. Poverty is rampant in some areas in some school districts here in California. What are some of the special challenges that having a low-income neighborhood present for school?
We have to make sure that kids come to school prepared to learn. They have to be well-rested, well-nourished, and in good physical shape. And so we impose standards in terms of the quality of food being served. And I can really tell you today that student meals are healthier today than they've ever been before. And our students are in actually better shape than they've been in the last decade. We do administer what we call a fitnessgram exam. And we have seen slow incremental improvement for those kids taking that exam.
Oh, that is great. This is Bill Frank. We've been talking to Jack O'Connell, the former superintendent of public education here in the state of California. Thank you so much for watching.